This is not a PMP success journey. This is a PMP love story. I love to say that
Yeah.
when people say that, like, what is a love? This is a love story. This is how basically, like, his husband, Adil, he was my one-to-one student. He joined my program and he cleared it. He cleared it in a very slow, easy way. Then he recommended Hira, his wife. She was in Pakistan at that time. And he said, sir, she will join next month. I said, yeah, I'll see that. I'm gonna destroy her Ramadan and holidays. So in a discussion with her, Hira jumped in. She joined. She studied at her pace. As a working mom, Fiza, you are a working mom. Sudha, you are a working mom. You know how it is hard it is for you, especially when you are in the European countries. There's another interesting, or Australia, Canada, where you cannot have help. So that's another kind of Vanita. You can understand that how this Linda announces are things became difficult. So Hira booked it. Interestingly, she has an exam. She had booked her flight. Her exam got cancelled. The next day, and in the last 1 month, many time PMI did. I don't know what happened there. So her exam got cancelled. Again, we have to restart it, worked into it. But finally, she went to the exam yesterday. Uh, 4 hours away from you, Hira?
Yeah, approximately 4 hours away from
Four
me.
hours
Yeah.
away. She went it, she did the exam, and now she's a proud certified PMP. Hira, congratulations. As
Thank you so much,
as
sir.
a working mom, how hard it was, what was your journey? These are the people of batch 9 who just did the training, right? And one of them, like, especially I want to put it out, their facilitator, like, said me third time, sir, she's a working mom. I said, don't you say that again to me that Fiza is a work. I don't care about that. Uh, My specialty is a working mom, she will be clearing it. So if you can share that journey in your way, how what they can learn, how they can clear into that, that will be awesome.
Yeah, the only thing was not just that I'm a working woman, mom, but it's also that I live away from my husband. He's working from another city, so 4 hours away. So he travels to us like Thursdays. He comes to us in Stavanger, here where we live, and then he go back in weekends. So I only have the weekends or the evenings on weekdays to do the exam preparations because I had my son with me. So it was a bit hard, especially when I had very much to do in the work at the work. Sometimes there was so much to do that I needed to work overtimes in the evenings and weekends, but also I needed to prepare for PMP because I remember one time I didn't work for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and I did one of these mocks, and then I got I think 55 and 50%, and then I sent you a message or like, oh my god, I don't understand why this happened, and your voice noise was like, but you didn't work continuously. What do you expect? So I remember you tell me like this, and I was like, yeah, that's true. So even though it was like 180 marks, those without timing, even though I couldn't do one within one day, what I tried to do was like kind of work, maybe do 60 questions or 50 questions, and then do rest next day or 2 days after later, because in that way I was able to just do something every day. And one day I did the RCA, and often when I did the RCA, it was like, okay, I know why I did the question wrong, and sometimes like, oh wow, I could read the question better and could reply better. So it was difficult, but of course the help from you, Amaser, and the facilitators, and also my husband, who was kind of standing beside me and behind me. I was doing the MPP this in the weekends, and he was with my son, and he was doing the cleaning of the house, making the food. He was like, yeah, you just do your preparation, and I will take a look after everything else. So that was very helpful for me, and he was very supportive, and we always normally sit down together, and we went through all the questions, and he asked me questions about different topics, and I was like replying, and when I couldn't reply, he was like, "What have you done? Why did you do this?" So I had another teacher at home. So yeah, it was very good, and I think everyone can do it if you just manage to work. Like even you just use 10 minutes every day. You don't need to use more than that. You can do it.
You can do that is a very important thing, and that goes back to the mantra that I love. One is greater than zero.
Yeah, exactly.
One is greater than zero. Like if you can work into that, you can do into that. Okay, let's come to a very important thing. When your exam was cancelled, how was you feeling? Relieved?
I was very stressed. I remember it was not just the canceling of the exam. I went to the airport. My son had lately got very interested in airplanes. So he was so excited in the airport. He was looking at the airplane. We went onto the plane, and on the runway, we just got informed that the plane had some technical issue. Went back to the gate, and they told us like the flight is canceled. So we went off the plane, and I was waiting and waiting, got a new flight, and then after 2 hours that was also cancelled, and I was like, okay, no, I'm not taking the flight. I called Adil. I was like, we are canceling the flight. I'm driving tomorrow, so I will drop off my son at my parents' house. They will take care of him, and I will drive tomorrow. So I went home, drive to my parents. The next day, I was eating the food and was totally ready to just drive. And then suddenly I just got a mail. I was like, okay, let me look at the mail. And when I opened the mail, it was your exam is cancelled. So everything was maybe connected. There was some, yeah, I don't know. So I got the money back for the flight, and the exam was cancelled. So I got a bit stressed, but then I thought, okay, now I have 2 more weeks to work, and maybe that was the best for me.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a stressing moment. Of
This
course, you
was
are
a very
prepared.
interesting. I have never seen anyone their flight got cancelled as well as their exam got cancelled. Like one
Yeah,
helped it because let's say if your flight was not cancelled, you reached there, another problem. If you
yeah,
like but both things, like I was like shocked. I asked, what? How two things can happen? But
yeah.
that was so interesting. Okay, now let's jump to the exam. How did you manage time? How was the exam? Can you walk us through?
Yeah, always had the problem with the time, as I sent you always the screenshot, and you asked me why you hurry so much. You have so much time left. So when I was doing the exam, I was like thinking, okay, now I know I have a lot of time. Just calm down, read the questions, read it 2 times, 3 times, and then you answer the questions. Some questions I used more time because was like, not sure, because it was very hard question, and other questions were like very straightforward, so I used less time on them. So I think you have plenty of time if you are very good prepared. You have a lot of time, and my problem was again that I finished off before, like 10 minutes before my time was up. So I went back, read the questions I were unsure about. I wrote them down, tried to think more, and then, yeah. So I think you have a lot of time, and it's just about how you think and what you focus on. So the questions you are very, very sure about, you just reply and move on to the next question, and then you have plenty more time to questions that you are not so sure about, and you can use more time to study that question.
Hmm. Okay, okay, that's awesome. Okay. Uh, any critical path question?
No,
Any formula question?
no.
No. How many drag and drop?
It was, I think, 8 or 10 drag and drop,
Hmm.
and they were very, very hard.
Okay.
I really mean they were very hard drag and drop questions.
If the exam is too easy, I'm not interested in that. You see, the day PMP exam became easy, I will stop teaching it. I'm very
Yeah,
serious about that. Because if it's
yeah,
easy, yeah, then everyone can do it. Then it's not fun. When, like, I always say to my facilitators, whenever the exam, when somebody fails or exam become tough, I said, that is why we are here. If the exam
yeah,
becomes so easy, there is no job for Amir Ali. Amir Ali should do something else. But
yeah, yeah.
this is the beauty of the task. Okay. What was the percentage of the question answer? Stakeholder communication team. Which topic has more questions?
Agile was, I think, 60% was agile, and then you had the communication was 20%, and then was team and stakeholder. So a lot of the questions were agile, and communication was more the focus of this exam.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So what would be your recommendation, other people, how they should do, how they should manage, what things they should do?
I think the one thing you always say is one is greater than zero. So even if you can use 10 minutes every day, use 10 minutes. I tried to do the 180 question that had timer the days I knew I can do it. And otherwise, the other questions which didn't have timer, I used maybe the whole week on them. But that's fine because you will learn and do the RCA. And then after doing the RCA, look into the questions you didn't understand or did wrong, was not so clear for you, and then go to the notes and see why you didn't reply correctly, or what didn't you understand, so you can learn the question at that moment. Because if you don't do it at that moment, you will forget it.
Hmm. Okay. If you don't do that at the moment, you will forget it. Okay. Uh, how important it is to do root cause analysis, RCA?
I think that's the main thing of your profession actually, or for the project management profession. It's the RCA.
RCA. Can you
Root cause analysis is everything, because you learn so much. Even though question you have done correct, you was like, yeah, I knew it was correct. And question maybe you just have guessed, okay, I guessed it, but you just read why it's correct. Sometimes you get question correct because you just guessed another, and next time when you get the same question, it's wrong. So that should not happen. So yeah, RC is very good actually.
How would you recommend how they should do RCS? On paper, on detailed RCA? What was your way?
I just wrote the question, then one, two, three, four, the number of questions, and then what I learned, what if the question was right or wrong, and in the end, what the right question was. So I wrote then what did I do, why was it correct and wrong. So I focused mostly on the wrong questions, and normally when I was doing the question answers, and if I was like very unsure about one question, I always wrote it down. And when I did RC, I looked into the question, did I do it wrong or correct? And then when I looked into the question, it's like, okay, that was wrong. Then I knew it. And if it was right, then I was like, okay, I need to look into the question, why is it right as well? So I normally had a paper beside me, and I always wrote down which question I was like struggling with when I was doing the question answer as well, because then I knew I could go back and look into that question.
Okay, okay, okay. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Gee, anyone else has any question they would like to ask? Working mom who cleared PMP, have a very small child, and but she has one advantage I want to say: a sport at home, a certified PMP. And I want to share one thing. When she started PMP, and week before, uh, his husband, her husband started RMP. So yesterday I called him. I did not disturb him for her entire journey. Yesterday I called him after 3 4 months. He said, yes, sir, I know. Why did you call? Now you want my RMP. I said, I took a break. I was focused on that. This is what we call balance. This is what I call true love story. How one sacrifice for other and how we move ahead. So everyone is different. Our journey is different. We have single moms. They have different challenges. We have a single dad. They have different challenges. But the most important thing, when you follow, one is greater than zero, you clear exam. Manishka is asking how. lengthy the questions were? How did you manage time into that?
I have seen lengthy questions in the mocks we got. There was not that lengthy question actually, or maybe the page was or your screen was so big that it didn't seem so lengthy for me. But I didn't find them so lengthy. It was maybe maximum 2 sentence questions. They were very short and to the point questions. And the time, as I just mentioned previously, I focused on the questions that was very hard, and then the one that I knew the answer, I replied and just went like got to the other question. And then when I was finished and had the time, I went back to the questions and looked back into it.
Mhm. Anyone else? Any question?
I have a question, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations, Hira, for
Thank you so
the
much. Thanks.
certified PMP.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's good to hear, and it's always a motivation for us who are studying right now to discuss with the certified PMPs. I would like to ask you that what was the sequence of the questions? I mean, first, continuously agile questions were coming, or one agile, or one people. How it was like that?
No, it was very different actually. It wasn't focused on agile or communication. It was suddenly it was an agile question. Suddenly it was a drag and drop question. It was a risk question. Suddenly it was question about the communication. So it was very different questions throughout the exam.
So there was no sequence of question. It was
No,
all
no,
mixed.
I couldn't see any sequence. I couldn't recognize any sequence.
All right. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, basically randoms. Of course, basically. Yes, go ahead, Fiza.
All right. First of all, really congratulations, Hera. It
Thank you
really
so much.
felt like in a way that I'm actually in the same journey, being a mother and working and holding 3 kids a lot along and a single mother for some time period when my husband is away, like I have to do it all by myself. One thing I would like to know that I consider root cause analysis as a very like as a hectic thing. I know it's really important, but the thing is that you did mention about how you are going to do it. But sometimes I understand it in my brain, and I understand it all by everything in my brain. Is it compulsion to write it or put it in the Excel and do it?
Yeah, because normally you think you will remember when you have the in the brain, but you don't do just 180 questions. You have a lot of questions you're gonna go through. So sometimes you remember, oh, I did that question, and just before exam, like 3 weeks before exam, 1 week before exam, I went into the RCA and I went through the RCA and the question I did wrong, and I was like, oh, I wrote notes. Let me look into the notes. Oh, okay, what is smoothing? What is leveling? What is crashing? So it was just a brief go through that helped me a lot. Okay, my child is crying a lot because
All right.
he's
Thank you
upset.
so very much. Thank you.
I get, she has 3 child, so she can understand very well.
Yeah, he is crying upstairs now.
Okay. So thank you very much, Hira. And this
Thank
is
you so
the
much.
story of our mom. It's 10 minutes and she has to leave because her child is crying. I cannot give a more direct example how much a working mom it is difficult. Hira, send me your certificate you must have received on your dashboard and send me a
Yeah,
picture of you, Adil, and your kid together. Okay?
yeah, sure, I
So
will
I'll
do
put the
that. Yeah,
thumbnail, immediately send me. And thank you very much and bye-bye.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye, bye.
So I actually loved the last part where her child was crying, not because her child was crying, because this actually shows that this is how a working mom can. And I want to share here that I have never had a single working mom who failed in the exam, no matter from where. Not even a single mom, because they are so risk averse. They are so risk averse that when they go in the exam, I make sure 1000% they clear it. I have many people, like from last year, I showed you that people who could not pass. I never have a single working mom who did not pass it. So Fiza, Vanita, and everyone else, I, if I would say my two specialities, helping working mom to become PMP and somebody who has extreme busy schedules. This is the two thing. So Priya, you don't need to worry about it. You will clear. Okay, with that, over